In this video, we're going to have a look at a smart switch I've designed for my 3D printer. So I can use a remote to turn it on and off, and I can also use a mobile phone app. This one's going to go on my Prusa one. I haven't got it yet because I've ordered the kit. So the reason I've sort of made this smart switch is because the switch to turn on and off the printer will be behind the actual 3D printer. And where I'm going to put it, it's going to be a bit difficult to reach around to turn it on and off easily. And I also want the option to be able to use my phone to turn it on and off as well if I'm not at home. So essentially what it's going to do is you've got instead of plugging the cable into the power supply unit, it'll just go to here. So it's going to that socket and it goes into the smart switch, and this will control the printer being on and off, and this will just go plugged into the Prusa Core 1 power supply unit. I'm hoping it fits in between the power supply unit, which will be on the left side, and then you've got the electronics box on the right side. So I'm hoping it fits in between, and I'll put some magnets or double-sided tape on here to stick it onto the back, and this will just go plug right into the power supply unit. So hopefully there's enough room in between the power supply unit and then the electronics box. Otherwise I'll just mount it to somewhere else. But that's what I want to do anyway. So I might just plug it in just to show it working. So yeah, this will be the cable, the power cable, goes to the smart switch. I'll just put it there. So you can use the remote to turn it on and off, and turn it off. So yeah, and you'll be able to do that with the app as well. Another thing I've also made is just this. I've had an old, like an RFID door lock. So I've wired it up to another RF remote. So when I tap against the reader, it'll turn it on and off. So unplug that. But yeah, so what I want to do is I want to put this just in front of just next to the display, or hopefully I can fit it within, where the screen is, and right next to it. So hopefully there's enough space behind it, and I can neatly implement it there. But yeah, that's just a quick look at it. And these are all the parts that you'll need. So you've got a 3D printed case, the mini smart switch, just the cable, and you can get a remote as well. So, and then you also need just 6 M3 screws. So before we get started, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of this video, PCBWay. If you want to take your projects to the next level, they offer a number of services from manufacturing PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection molding. So if you have any needs for these services, I'd highly recommend you check them out. So I've used their services before for some of my other projects, and I've been really happy with the quality of the products and their customer service. So these are just some examples that I've got from them. So this is just a 3D printed clear resin case. So I don't have a resin printer, but you can see the quality of that. It just looks like glass. So they print it on a 3D resin printer, but then they also clear coat it to give it that nice glass look. So yeah, definitely check them out if you need any of those services. And thanks for sponsoring this video, PCBWay. And just another disclaimer, so if you're doing this or trying to replicate this same thing, just be aware that it's running off mains power. So don't do this unless you're qualified to do so, and also just, you're doing this at your own risk. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is get the shielding off this cable. So this is the male side, and from the male side, what I think should be about the right measurement is from this section here, so just from the end to there, you want it about 140 millimeters. So get that. And you just want to carefully cut the shielding. And then you want to strip it all the way to the end. So if you're doing this with a knife or something, just be very careful you don't cut through the wires. Oops, sorry. So yeah, you want to get it all the way to the very end. And just carefully trim around. And the next step is you want to cut or measure and cut the wire. So we're not cutting the earth, so leave that as is. It's just the live and the neutral is what we're cutting. And you want to get about 6 centimeters or 60 millimeters. So zoom in. So from that end, you want to get about 60. That. And then what you want to do is, the next step is pretty easy. You just want to strip the ends of the wires on both sides. And you probably need around 5 mil on each. And just twist the wires. Okay. Next thing we want to do is get the case. And yeah, so with my design, I've designed it for this specific end. So it's the, I think it's the, they call it the down. So it's facing I guess like when you plug it into the power supply unit, the cable will point up. And with my design, I guess it's probably only going to work with this one, just the way it's just got enough clearance to put it in, and just put it in, and you can just swivel it up like that and pull it through. Get the smart switch, and you want to have it facing like that, so the green section at the bottom. And while you've got it out, I would just unscrew it as well. So unscrew the terminals. So the only ones you will need is the live out, live in, neutral in, and then neutral out. So just the first four. And you'll see it just going down. So we just push this in. Should be quite a snug fit. And just make sure it's gone all the way in and it's sitting flush. So it should look like that. And we want to put it in. So I like to have with the earth pointing up. So it'll look like that. So when we wire it in, what we want to do is put the, zoom in. So the red is the live, so it can go to live in. Wait, I'll just do neutral and live. Just make sure the wires go in properly. Double check, make sure they look alright. Then just tighten them up. So it looks like that. And then we want to push this end in, so just push the wires to one side. Just tuck it out of the way, make sure it's nice and neat. And then we can just put the M3 screws in the bottom to hold it in place. So let's find my screws. So I think these are, the ones I've got are 16mm length, and that's, I've designed it so it'll fit 16mm fine and it won't push out. If it's any longer, it might actually push out of the plastic. So you can go less than 16mm, and it should be fine. It's just about how much you want engagement. Just screw it in. So yeah, don't need any insets for this. I've just sort of designed it so it just screws directly into the case, and they're quite strong holds. So that's what it's going to look like. And then the next step we want to do is we want to wire up this side. So this is the output side. And what I like to do is go sort of push the earth back and then just wire it up. And just the neutral out. And then we can just route the wires a bit neater. So push it down around the back. Because the next step, what we want to do is we want to get the cable to sit right. So because it's going to sort of sit like that. Just want to twist the cable a bit just to make sure it's sort of not binding up when I am using it. So that looks okay. So make sure you've kept that. The next step is you get the cable and just push it down. Get a cable tie. So just double check. That looks okay. So it'll look like that, and just tighten up your cable tie. Once it's nice and tight, just cut it off. And it's going to look like that. And then all you have to do is push the top of the cable there, and then just a matter of screwing it in. So then we can just screw the rear case on, rear cover. And it might be a little bit snug, but it won't be too bad. And that'll just give the more tension to hold the actual cable in. So we just use the other 4 M3 screws. But yeah, if there's enough, I guess people want to make ones without this sort of end like that, I can design another case or just rework this case so you can use any end you want. So it doesn't have to be that design, and I'll probably just design it with a cutout here, so you can just, the cable can just go through, as opposed to the actual whole piece needing to thread through. But yeah, leave a comment if you want me to design that case. But yeah, I won't screw in the other two just to save a bit of time and boring you with this. But yeah, so once you've screwed it in, it should be nice and flush. This side will get flush as well once it's screwed in. So I can just plug it in. So once you've done all that, you can plug it in, and then you're going to have to actually program the smart switch as well. So you can just go through the instructions. But yeah, that's just a quick look at the video. So hopefully this has been helpful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully have some other upgrades to the Prusa Core 1 once I get it in. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.